Hi there. Today I'm talking about what to expect in a criminal sexual assault trial as the witness survivor. I'm Natalie Gerry, the principal lawyer with Gerry Law. I help injured people get the compensation that they deserve for their injuries. Let's get into this topic today. What can you expect if you are testifying in the criminal prosecution of your sexual assault action? Here's what you can expect. I'm going to go through 5 important things that you should know. We'll talk about first the police, then the Crown, the Victim Witness Assistance Program, the accused and defense, and finally the trial. First of all, what you should know about the police. If you decide to talk to the police about being sexually assaulted, first of all, you should know that they will ask you for details about what happened. They will have a lot of questions for you, and if you want charges to be laid, you have to tell them precisely what happened to you. You will have to make a statement. You will have to name names so that they can know who they are charging. You will have to describe what happened in quite a bit of detail. Do not sign the statement if you don't agree with everything in it. So make sure you read it over and make sure you agree with it, because it will come up again at the criminal trial. This statement will be quite important, and your statement may also be recorded, so it's important to understand that. Also, be aware that the police will only lay charges if they think there is a strong case, and the charges are not laid in every single case. So the police make that decision. The next element that you need to be aware of is the Crown. So the police will give your file to the Crown attorney or just the Crown. Once the police lay charges, the Crown is the lawyer who takes over and who will be the one to prove in court that you were sexually assaulted by the accused. So the person who is charged is called the accused or the defendant. It is important to understand that the Crown is not your lawyer. The Crown will think about your wishes during the court case, but their first duty is to society. They are acting as the Crown who enforces the laws of society. Even if you want to proceed with the charges and with the prosecution, but the Crown doesn't think there is a reasonable prospect of a conviction, the Crown will not follow your wishes just to pursue the prosecution because you want to. Unfortunately, that is up to the Crown, and it's their discretion to do that or not. The other thing that you need to know about is the Victim Witness Assistance Program, which is part of the Crown's office and which will help you understand how the court process works. So if you are involved and are a witness, you can ask questions of this service. I'm going to talk a bit more about what it involves. If you are going to court, this can be a difficult experience, and you may have questions about the criminal court process and what will be expected of you as a witness. The Victim Witness Assistance Program is a court-based program that provides information, help, and support to victims and witnesses of crimes so that you can understand better and participate in the criminal court process. A worker will be assigned to assist you and can speak with you and assist based on what you need help with and what your questions are. The program can provide you with information about your case, your rights, and the criminal court process. They can provide information about the courtroom procedure and your role in court. They can help you to understand what to expect for each court date and help you to prepare for your appearance in court. They can also provide you with key updates, provide you with copies of court orders, such as the bail conditions or probation orders. They coordinate with the Crown's office to provide your input, concerns, and needs as they relate to the criminal court case. They can also connect you with the police to discuss your safety concerns and any other information that you wish to provide about the crime. They can also offer emotional support, and they can refer you to other resources within the community. This is good information to know and to get connected with. The other thing you need to understand with regard to the criminal process is that you are a witness. You are not a party to the action. As a witness, you describe what happened to you and you will testify, which means tell your story in the trial. This means that you will see the accused in court, and whether or not you want to testify, if you decide you don't want to testify, you may have to testify. Because you are a witness, the Crown can subpoena you, which means that you would be required to go to court and testify. So you wouldn't have a choice. When you're getting prepared to testify, you should speak with the victim witness services person, but make sure to be honest. Never lie. If you don't remember something, it's important that you say you do not remember, because making things up can just lead to more problems. So it's best just to always be straightforward. If you don't remember, that's perfectly normal, especially with trauma. There can be issues with memory that can be explained in that way. Saying that you don't remember is always an acceptable answer. In terms of the accused and the defense, what you need to know about this is the person who assaulted you, when they're charged, they are called the accused, or they might be called the defense. There are words that might be thrown around. The perpetrator, the accused, may be released on bail. This means that they will go free until the trial and follow certain conditions. This usually includes a condition to stay away from you as the complainant or the person who has complained to the police. If the accused pleads or says that they are guilty, then there will be no trial. There will, though, be a sentencing. If the accused says that they did not commit the crime, then there will be a trial. The defense is the lawyer for the accused, so the defense will be cross-examining you in court. The accused called the defendant, and their lawyer will be the one asking you questions in the cross-examination. Now, about the trials. The case will take a very long time usually to get to trial. People are very surprised, in my experience, by how long it can take for a case to get to trial. There are usually many delays and meetings between the defense lawyer and the Crown, and other court appearances dealing with scheduling issues. If the accused is in custody, then usually the trial, it happens faster. But if they are released on bail, then it could be that the trial takes a lot longer. You can always ask the Crown and the victim witness assistance person questions. You can call your local sexual assault center or women's organizations and ask them to help you with what's going on. And I will provide a list of resources below for Ontario matters. As a witness in the trial, you will have to tell your story in the courtroom and be cross-examined by the defense lawyer. The cross-examination, the purpose is basically to show that you are not credible. That's why it can be so difficult and is usually difficult on the witness and the survivor, because the lawyer's main purpose is to show that the witness is not credible. So you will have to tell your story in the courtroom and then be cross-examined, asked questions about it to test how strongly what you're saying is true and how credible you are. The cross-examination can be very difficult because sometimes the defense lawyer will ask very personal questions, but it is the Crown's job to make sure that only the right questions are asked, and both the defense and the Crown may call other witnesses, but you will be the main one as the survivor. The accused may or may not testify. It is the accused's choice as to whether they testify. And it is a good idea to have someone as a support person in the courtroom with you because of how difficult this process can be. And you are allowed to have a support person in the courtroom. That person could be a family member. It could even be a counselor who would come with you. In terms of some tips about the cross-examination, focus on what you know and don't embellish or give too much detail about anything. If you're unsure, just say you don't remember and do what it takes to make yourself comfortable. You can drink water in the courtroom, you can take breaks, you can, within reason, you go out in the hall if you need to take a break. Trust that the judge and jury will be able to tell the difference between the truth and dishonesty. You may or may not have a jury at the trial. Sometimes it's a judge alone. Just remember that it is the defense lawyer's job to try to make it look like you are not truthful and not credible. So they are just doing their job. Do not take it personally as much as possible. Just keep in mind that going to criminal court may not be easy. A sexual assault trial can take a long time, and the questions that you will be asked will be very personal, and the defense lawyer will try to make you sound wrong. The accused may say something about consent, saying that you did consent. There may be lies. It may be very difficult to hear, may be very triggering. And often there is not a lot of understanding about how deeply sexual assault can hurt people. Often there are misunderstandings, and they may not treat you with the sensitivity that should be used in this kind of situation. If the person accused of hurting you does go to trial, make sure that you have as much support as possible. You want to have your friends, your family, your community, your local women's center can be a big source of support. According to Statistics Canada, unfortunately, only about 1 in 10 sexual assaults reported to the police lead to a criminal conviction. So that's a very low statistic compared with 23% of physical assaults. In this way, instead of the criminal process, or in addition to the criminal process, you might consider a civil sexual assault lawsuit. And I have another video that describes what makes up a strong civil sexual assault lawsuit, so you should check that out. I'm Natalie Gerry from Gerry Law. I'll see you in my next video.